Hi, thanks Neil for putting this together for us. We really appreciate it. I'm delighted to be here with you today. I'm new to Cold Spring Harbor. It's wonderful being part of the Cold Spring Harbor team and also being part of the Long Island business community. Thank you. Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory is a basic, not-for-profit research laboratory with 600 researchers here on Long Island. We're focusing on cancer, neuroscience, quantitative biology, plant biology, and genetics. Cold Spring Harbor is consistently rated #1 for impact in molecular biology and genetics. We have been the home of 8 Nobel laureates, including James Watson, the co-discoverer of the double helix DNA. And we're a National Cancer Institute research center and have been for 25 years. Cold Spring Harbor has enjoyed being part of over 20 spin-out companies over the years, including ICOS and OSI. OSI was most recently at Broad Hollow Science Park with OSI's successful acquisition. We now have space to nurture more emerging companies. Greg is here today from the Broad Hollow Science Park, so if you're interested in what's going on there, please talk to him or talk to me. We're featuring examples of those types of emerging life science companies that may become part of our Long Island bio community today, along with the Feinstein Institute. Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory is engaged in spinning out companies and engaged with business as a way to carry out our mission to make sure that important discoveries reach the public in a meaningful way and, very importantly, reach patients. It's a very long road from basic discovery to reaching patients, and that's why it's so important that we partner with smart investors, with our industry collaborators, and also with our clinical collaborators at medical institutions like North Shore LIJ. So thanks so much for being here today. Enjoy the conference. I'm pleased to be here with my colleague Tom Coleman and I'll be working with the Feinstein Institute as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Terry. I'd like to introduce Tom Coleman, the Chief Science Officer of the Office of Technology Transfer at the Feinstein Institute for Medical Research. Tom?
Thank you, Neil, and thanks for having us here. Looking forward to this day. As you know, the North Shore Long Island Jewish Health System is a $7 billion operating budget, 50,000 employees, dipping into Manhattan with Lenox Hill and throughout Long Island. And it has 17 hospitals, although Michael Dowling tends to collect hospitals faster than I replace my cars. So I think that's the latest number. The Feinstein Institute is the research entity of the North Shore Long Island Jewish, and it has its origins in the 1997 merger of the North Shore University Hospital with LIJ, the 2 anchor hospitals of our system. And within about a year, we decided to consolidate all of the research into one building, and that is the Feinstein Institute. So we do reasonably well in NIH funding. Our budget last year was around $100 million. What I think you may be impressed with is we actually, including our clinical staff, have about 1,500 employees within this building, which is here. This part is the new addition, which went up in 2008. And it effectively was another 50,000 square feet, so we now have 150,000 square feet at this site. But 1,500 employees, and there are 50 labs in this structure, ranging in size from large labs, like, for example, Betty Diamond, a lupus researcher, has about 30 people in her lab, to very small labs of 2 or 3 people as well. I wanted to highlight also the North Shore Hofstra Medical School, which was started about 4 years ago, and I just learned yesterday that here we are in our 4th year of this. This is the first allopathic medical school in 40 years in New York State, and within 4 years, we had 6,500 applicants for 100 slots. And the average MCAT, I was looking at the scores, for the top 10 medical schools in the nation, the average MCAT score is 35, with a range of 32 to 38, and 45 is a perfect score. Our applicants all had a 34 average. So we're doing extremely well, and I should say this is a very innovative medical school. The students in this school see patients from day one, which is unlike any other school in the nation, where you have to go through many, many classes before you actually do what you want to do, which is to talk to patients. So it's a very innovative program. We also have, we have subscribed to the notion that the best care comes with clinical research and clinical trials. And we have 15,000 patients and over 2,000 studies. There's no national metrics for this, but that is a huge number of clinical trials and patients involved in those that's occurring on our North Shore campus. And it's partly because of the medical school and the Feinstein and the clinical research that all of this can happen. And the expertise we have at the Feinstein are inflammation, neurological disorders like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, genomic research, primarily in Peter Gregerson's lab, and schizophrenia at Zucker Hillside with John Kane. So historically, our office, Technology Transfer Office, has been 3 people. So that's obviously an impossible task to manage 50,000 employees. Recognizing that, we did some very innovative things. So we started the North Shore Long Island Jewish Cleveland Clinic Healthcare Innovation Alliance. So the basic idea is, rather than build our own innovation alliance, we thought we would pair up with an expert in this field, Cleveland Clinic. So we now are paying for boots on the ground Cleveland Clinic employees to help us commercialize. So we have those on site, but also, more importantly in my mind, we have access to the 70-person staff at the Cleveland Clinic Innovations to help us commercialize things. A second thing that we've done is to just, I think the press release should come out today or tomorrow, but we formed an alliance with I360 Medical. It's a Irish firm with specialty in device technology and getting that into the market. And the basic idea is that we want to move things into clinical practice faster, and as you may know, therapeutics take literally decades to get into clinical practice, but devices have a much easier regulatory path. And a lot of our researchers want to actually live long enough to see their discoveries get into man. And by doing it with devices, we can make this happen. We went with an Irish company because it's a little bit easier to get what's called the CE mark, that is the equivalent of the FDA approval in Europe than it is in the US with FDA. So the idea is, let's get into the European community, and armed with that data, it will help us get into the FDA and into the US community. So I think these are extremely innovative ideas that are going to help us push what I would call kind of hardcore intellectual property. We've also started a new North Shore Ventures, which is headed up by one of the speakers today, Tom Thornton. And this, I would say, is trying to help us move a softer core intellectual property, things like business methods, IT, and care pathways. And Tom will actually be talking about a very exciting electronic discharge that he is heading up currently. So in today's talk, I've asked 3 people to talk. I will do one, which is an extremely early technology called autoimmune therapeutics. And then we have Dr. Wenlin Yang, who will speak from TheraSource, which is a spin-out from the Feinstein, looking at a biologic approach to sepsis. And finally, we'll have Tom Thornton give the Cirrus Health, this electronic discharge. So thank you again, and we look forward to learning what everybody is doing.